They pretended to be strong. They acted like they didn't need you, like your absence meant nothing. They wore a mask of confidence, a mask of indifference. But now the cracks are showing because that strength wasn't real, it was a performance. And now that you're gone, now that your energy is no longer holding them up, they're breaking. Welcome back, Advancing Kings and Queens. Today, we're speaking truth over illusion. We're talking about those people who acted like they were fine without you, like losing you wouldn't affect them, like they could live without your love, your support, your presence. But deep down, they were leaning on your light. They just never admitted it. And now that you've pulled away, their so-called strength is starting to collapse. Let's be real. When someone is truly strong, they don't have to fake it. True strength is quiet, grounded, secure. But what they had was ego, pride, fear in disguise that pushed you away. Not because they were strong, but because they didn't know how to deal with someone real. They rejected your presence because they couldn't handle your power. And now they're paying the price. While you were pouring love, they were playing games. While you were trying to connect, they were trying to control. And while you were being authentic, they were wearing a mask. You gave so much. Your time, your attention, your heart. And in return, they gave you coldness, distance, mixed signals. But you stayed. You cared. You kept believing until you couldn't anymore. There came a point when you had to choose peace. You had to choose self-respect. You had to choose healing. And that meant walking away from the illusion. And here's what's wild. Now that you've walked away, their world is falling apart. They're not as okay as they pretend to be. Their silence is not peace, it's pain. Their distance is not strength, it's fear. They are not thriving. They're surviving, barely. They thought you'd never leave. They thought their emotional games would keep you stuck. They thought their fake strength would intimidate you into settling for less. But you grew. You awakened. You started to see through the performance. And when you walked away, you took more than just your presence. You took your light, your warmth, your energy. And that's what they miss the most. Now they're left with themselves. And it's not easy. Because the truth is, they were relying on your strength all along. They may have acted like they didn't need you, but your love was holding them together. Your consistency was their security. Your kindness gave them comfort. And now that it's gone, they're shaken. The illusion is broken. The mask is slipping. And no matter how cool they try to act, no matter how much they post on social media, how much they pretend they've moved on, your absence is louder. Because fake strength can only last so long. Eventually, life forces people to face themselves. And that's what's happening now. They're being confronted with the truth. And the truth is, you were never the weak one. You were never the emotional mess. You were the anchor. You were the healer. You were the light. And now that you're no longer there, they're unraveling. Not because you cursed them, not because you want revenge, but because your growth triggered their downfall. You stopped feeding their illusion. You stopped playing your role in their performance. And without your energy to pull from, they're exposed. That's what happens when you remove divine presence from a space that didn't honor it. Let this remind you, your presence was powerful. You mattered more than they ever admitted. And even if they never say it out loud, they feel it. They feel the loss. They feel the emptiness. They feel the weight of who they pretended to be. And now they're breaking quietly, secretly, behind closed doors. And you're rising, you're healing, you're advancing, because the love you gave to them is now being given to yourself. The strength they faked, you're embodying it for real. You're not pretending. You're not playing games. You're actually doing the work. And that's why you are free. They're breaking because the act is exhausting. Because pretending to be okay, pretending to be over you, pretending to be untouchable, it takes energy. And now that your energy is gone, they don't have anything left to draw from. That fake strength is collapsing under the weight of their own emptiness. They're finally being forced to sit with the very pain they tried to project onto you. They thought they were winning by staying cold and distant. But now they're losing sleep, losing focus, losing grip. Let's be clear. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about wishing them harm. This is about truth, about clarity, about finally seeing the difference between real power and performance. Real power is grounded in love. Real power is rooted in truth. Real power doesn't push people away. It doesn't wear a mask. What they were doing was survival. It was ego. It was fear of intimacy, fear of vulnerability, fear of being truly seen. But they let the only person who saw them walk away. And now they're left with their reflection. and it's not easy to face. You were a mirror for them. When they looked at you, they saw everything they weren't ready to become. Your emotional openness made them uncomfortable because they had buried their own feelings for so long. Your compassion felt foreign to them. Your honesty scared them, so they pushed you away. Not because they didn't care, but because they didn't know how to handle what you were offering. And instead of healing, they hid behind a facade of strength. But masks always crack, and now the mask is falling apart. They thought time would make them forget. They thought distractions would numb the loss. But nothing works, because you weren't just another person. You were the one who held space for them, who accepted them, who loved them through their mess. You were real. And now that you're gone, they're realizing how rare that is. You may not see the tears. You may not hear the cries. But behind the pride, behind the silence, behind the fake smiles, there's regret. And not just for losing you. There's regret for not being real, for not choosing healing, for not growing when they had the chance. And that regret, that's what's breaking them. Because they know deep down it didn't have to end this way. But you were not sent to be their fixer. You were not assigned to be their emotional caretaker. You showed up with love, with patience, with sincerity, but they weren't ready. And it's not your job to wait around for someone to choose healing. It's not your job to carry someone who keeps pretending they don't need you. That's not love. That's emotional imprisonment. And you chose freedom. Now, as they break, you're building. You're building a life that reflects your growth. You're surrounding yourself with people who match your frequency. You're creating peace where chaos used to live. You're loving yourself in the ways you once begged them to love you. And that transformation, that's what shakes them the most. Because they thought you'd fall apart without them. But you're thriving, and they're the ones unraveling. This is what happens when roles reverse. The one who faked strength is now weak. The one who gave genuine love is now rising. And it's not because you wanted to see them fall. It's because you finally chose yourself. And when you chose yourself, everything shifts. The truth comes to light. Illusions collapse. And the ones who took your presence for granted, they begin to understand just how much you carried. You're not the same. You're wiser. You're stronger, not just on the outside, but within. Your strength is rooted in healing, in experience, in truth. You don't need to act tough. You are tough. You don't need to fake confidence. You've earned it. Your silence isn't emptiness, it's protection. Your distance isn't pettiness, it's clarity. You're no longer available for energy that drains you. You're not entertaining confusion. You're walking in alignment with your higher self. And the Most High has been guiding you all along. That separation wasn't rejection, it was redirection. You were being pulled out of cycles that no longer served your soul. You were being protected from a future that would have kept you small. And now, everything that once made you question your worth is confirming your power. You see clearly now. You feel different. You move different. And that shift is divine. They're breaking not just because you're gone, but because you've grown. And they can't reach you where you are right now. Your vibration is higher. Your standards are stronger. Your heart is guarded with wisdom, not walls. You're not bitter, you're blessed. And you're not angry, you're aligned. Let that be your truth. Let that be your peace. If they come back, it's not your job to fix them. If they apologize, receive it with grace. But don't lose yourself trying to rewrite a story that was never meant to be your ending. If they watch from a distance, let them. You don't owe them access. You don't owe them an explanation. You've already given enough. And if part of you still feels guilt for walking away, release it. You didn't leave out of hate. You left because you had to save your own spirit. You had to reclaim your joy. You had to stop pouring into someone who refused to heal. That wasn't selfish. That was sacred. That was survival. That was self-love. And the fact that you're still standing, still shining, still advancing, that's the evidence. So stand tall, advancing king. Stand tall, advancing queen. You're not the one breaking, they are. Because they pretended to be strong while you became strong for real. And nothing can shake that. Nothing can stop that. Nothing can take away what you've earned through pain, through growth, through truth. This is your season. The season where the lies fall away. The masks come off. The fake strength is exposed. And your real, authentic power takes center stage. You don't have to prove anything. Your peace speaks for itself. Your healing speaks for itself. Your presence, your progress, your glow, it speaks for itself. They pretended to be strong. Now they're breaking without you. And you're becoming everything they pretended to be as we're here on this advancing channel. It's beautiful out here in nature. The sun is shining, the breeze has been blowing. Give the video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm if you haven't done so. You are valued and you are appreciated. Always an honor and a privilege to speak with you. I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, for being a subscriber, for being a member. Oh wow. Big up yourself. My name is Mantius and I'm saying one love, God bless, and all the best.